Hello, everyone.
Morning, everybody.
Joe here.
Kevin.
All right, Claire Mannion, you purchased the film Experimenter
Yes.
from 2015. Once again, going in blind.
Yeah, a historical drama is what I know about this.
Yeah.
Based on just finding the movie. Other than that, I don't know what this is.
I saw Peter Sarsgaard.
Nice.
And the thing we were pulling it up. But yeah, I'm not sure what to expect this one. I like Peter Sarsgaard.
I do too. Absolutely.
Great actor. Good character actor too. You know what I mean? He's played a lot of roles where you're like, I don't recognize Peter Sarsgaard right now.
For sure. He did make the mistake of being in the Green Hornet, but
Green Lantern.
or Green Lantern, I mean.
Yeah.
Everybody who was in Green Lantern was terrible, though. So.
Yeah, it's not a great movie. He was also just bananas in that. So I appreciate his commitment to everything.
Yeah.
Expecting a great performance from him in this.
Sure.
When you saw historical drama, do you know what we're dealing with here? Or
Not
just...
even a little bit.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, here we go.
I'm assuming there's an experiment that takes place in the movie.
It'd be weird if there wasn't.
Right, at this point. But you never know. I'm not sure if The Secret Life of Bees is actually about bees. I've never seen it.
It's called a misdirect.
Exactly. Not a lot of mockingbirds in To Kill a Mockingbird.
That's true.
All right, we'll go and get started here. I want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers for being with us and give a special thank you to all of our super patrons, AB, Actuarial Lurker, Balish Full Desk, Chris, Derek Peterson, MTC93, Jamie Morgan, Jeff, Christy Goverston, NJ, Sudugunda Varapu, Torgir Linkstad, Trey Contreras, Where Panda 47, Natasha Norris, and Yannick from Montreal. Thank you so much, guys. Really, really glad you're here with us.
Yes, we are. And if you're watching us for the first time on YouTube, welcome to our channel. If you find it the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've coming your way.
If you would like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or watching, check out the link in the description on our Patreon page. Everything on Patreon, you're going to have to sync and watch along in your own source material. Due to copyright law, you're just going to see and hear us.
Yes.
Fred Miller.
You must be
Anthony Edwards.
James
Yeah,
Wallace.
Goose.
Great. Please.
And Jim Gaffigan.
And Jim Gaffigan, yeah.
From now on, no matter what happens, the money is yours. I'll have to have you sign a receipt.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. That sounds menacing.
Yeah.
One of you will play the role of learner, who will receive a mild punishment if he answers incorrectly to a series of questions.
It's like a Stanford prison experiment.
Let's determine which of you will be learner and which will be teacher.
Please be teacher. Please be teacher.
Yeah.
Teacher.
Okay.
Guess I'm the learner, huh?
Jim's about to get tortured.
Yeah.
Now, let's set up the learner to receive some punishment. If you'll just follow me into the next room.
Is it okay if I leave my hat here?
Yes, that's fine.
Is this the experiment where like one person was faking injury and the other person had the power to torture more and more? I've heard of one of those.
I'm not sure. I don't think I've heard of that one.
And would you just help me strap him in to limit any excess movement?
How far do you think I'll
Make sure
come?
it's
This is-
nice and
yeah.
tight. Now this
is about to get weird.
What they learned is the other person thought they were actually going as far as killing the other person. They still did it because the experiment said it was okay to kill him.
Oh my god.
If that's this one.
Yeah.
Well, although the shocks may be extremely painful, they cause no permanent tissue damage.
Extremely painful.
Okay, so we're good to go.
The lab coat. I decided to make it gray. White would seem too medical.
It's an experiment to learn about how people are willing to hurt and kill other people as long as someone an authority tells them it's okay to.
That's messed up.
If that, I have no idea if that's this.
Still.
Still, that's a messed
Yeah,
up experiment.
it
that
really
was
is.
done. Yeah, and most people went through with it and did it. Like, okay,
So
kill them.
very similar to like the Stanford prison
Yeah,
experiment. Yeah.
sure.
We think it's only fair that you receive a sample shock yourself. Is that all right?
Uh-huh.
Line them up.
This part. This part's where the experiment really begins.
We're breaking the fourth wall. Okay.
Now, if you'll just use this scale here to tell me the amount of volts you think you received in the sample shock.
I wouldn't know what to guess there. Like, I've been shocked before, but I have no idea what the
Yeah,
voltage was.
Like an 11?
Yeah.
Each time he gives a wrong answer, you move up one switch on the shock generator.
This might be it, actually, because I think Gaffigan might be in on it. You know what I mean? Because he's not actually getting
I gotcha. So it's really studying this guy.
studying him. Yeah, because we
Okay.
said the experiment is starting now.
Rug.
He finds his
Pillow.
way into it.
Hair.
With
Grass.
increasing confidence, he finds a...
He finds his
He's the
way.
experiment. Yep.
90 volts.
I mean, didn't we see Gaffigan pull something else out too from
he?
the table? Yeah.
I didn't know.
He might have taken it off his arm too.
135
Oh,
volts.
man.
And see, he's looking for approval. The guy's like, "You're good. Keep hurting him."
Oh, it's so messed up.
That's how Nazis happen.
Yeah.
A true and lasting change
Wet.
is
Night.
about to overtake your life.
Grass.
A little backstory.
Eighth floor, please.
Is that Winona?
That is Winona Ryder. I almost didn't recognize her.
What are you studying at Yale?
I teach, actually, social relations.
That buzz there when that caught him off guard was kind of a
did.
nice touch,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
65 volts strong shock.
I couldn't do it. I think I would bail on this.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't want to go on.
Whether the learner likes it or not, he must go on until he's learned all the pairs correctly.
I thought they said you could walk away whenever.
Yeah, they did. And that's what he, yeah, see?
He won't do it though.
No.
Calm down.
Ooh, nice.
Concentrate.
He just gets meaner.
Because he feels like he's the one under pressure.
He went all the way. Most of them do.
Yeah, that's so messed up.
Axe, needle, stick, blade.
No response from the learner must be interpreted as a wrong answer.
God.
So you accept all responsibility.
The responsibility is mine, correct? Continue, please.
It takes the responsibility off you for hurting somebody.
Right, yeah. Oh, man.
They're not even watching the other guy.
Let me out of here. Let me out.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
Yep.
Wet duck. 435 volts. Okay. What now? I'm at the end of 450 volts.
We must continue.
Say no. Come on.
Some people would stop.
Yeah, I would think so. I would hope
Yeah,
so.
Right. It's just how willing are you to give in to authority like this?
Yeah.
Price, rule,
The
skin
thing that they were
sky.
told, like, take the money and leave whenever you want, and no one's leaving. It's just gross. And it's not. I'm not even talking about the money. I'm like, they know they can leave.
Yeah.
My assistant would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Surely.
Dr. Milgram,
Hi. Why didn't you stop?
Yeah. I like that shot there.
Yeah.
Why did you give him, the man in the other room, the learner, the shocks? Did he say he wanted you to stop the experiment?
Yes.
So why didn't you?
Well, cause he told me to continue.
Why did you listen to that man and not the man in pain?
Yeah.
Cause I thought the experiment depended on me. And nobody told me to stop.
He asked you to stop.
Uh-huh.
Who bore the responsibility for the fact that this man was being shocked?
Put it together.
I was just following orders.
Could you fill out items 6 through 18 on the questionnaire in front of you, please? Here's a pen.
You don't have to be nice to him. Like, here, you'll do whatever I say.
Yeah.
God.
I get a little skittish, nervous.
That was nice of him to show him to calm
He's
him down.
okay, yeah.
I'm fine. You know, no hard feelings. I probably would have done the same thing myself.
Man.
That's really nice to let him off the hook like that.
For
at
sure,
The end.
for
They
sure.
didn't have to do that.
The man in the other room works with us as a team. Jim, you can come out now.
His name's Jim.
Really being shocked. He's perfectly fine.
funny.
We weren't trying to fool you.
you saw how it was, how I was fighting it.
No, you weren't.
No.
You understand why we had to do it this way. We wanted to get true reactions from people. How do you feel about having come down here?
Not great.
Alan here will help you out. We think you'll find the report very interesting.
This explains so many things happening in the world right now.
Yeah. This is happening in the 60s, though. I mean, it's been this way forever.
Get some women in here. Get my wife in this seat. She'll,
I think they should.
Yeah.
I'd be curious. I don't know what they did, but I'd be curious if there was women that were more sympathetic or empathetic or human than the men are.
I want to see if we go that route, yeah.
My father's from Hungary, my mother Romania, Jewish immigrants.
Interesting transition here.
Swept up into the extermination camps and murdered by the Nazis like millions of others like them in Eastern Europe.
This experience is about the Nazis, isn't it?
Sad.
Why do people do it?
That's what's informing it.
Yeah.
How was genocide implemented so systematically, so efficiently?
They chalk it up to I was following orders.
Yep, not my fault. I wasn't the one making the call. I was just pushing the button.
I think I'd go nuts in this little room all day.
well, they keep me busy.
Are you ready, learner?
Continues with robotic impassivity.
Yeah, let's see if we get some real sadists.
Yeah.
Sweet, candy, girl, taste, pickle.
I wonder if you can read the actual results of this experiment. I'm kind of curious.
I'm very curious about that. You
Wrong.
wouldn't feel great at the end of the day.
Slow music.
No.
150 volts.
I would think even after you found out it was all fake, you'd feel terrible about yourself.
I'd be
Like,
thinking
what did this
about
just
it.
say about me?
Yeah.
It's absolutely essential that you do continue.
Well, I won't.
Good.
Good. Thank
person.
God.
Why don't I have a choice? I came here on my own free will.
There we go.
But if I have to hurt somebody, if I was in his place, no, I can't continue.
Someone with empathy
Yeah.
that overpowers their need to follow.
Yep.
I could have wept.
I could have wept, yeah.
They all seem to want to impress you for some reason.
Mm-hmm. But why?
Authority.
Yeah.
Authority.
All the psychiatrists and psychologists I consulted were convinced that we'd have trouble finding a single person that would go all the way through to the end.
Wow.
Just want to know what it feels like.
Sasha.
Why not? Let her.
Well, yeah, but it's not harmful either. I just want to understand it better.
Good for her.
Sure. See how eye-opening it really is.
It's an exercise in empathy right here.
We asked the teacher to physically press the learner's hand on a copper plate.
Oh.
My God.
135 volts.
We moved the experiment into a shabby office. And
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
And back at Yale, we include women.
I want to see the woman's perspective.
Did you turn off the machine?
I thought that if it seemed like I, turned.
She looks familiar.
She's an Orange is the New Black.
An inhumane treatment in response to a malevolent authority.
Oh my God, this movie is written for our times.
It really is.
I never did anything great or small without express instructions from my superiors.
It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever makes you feel better, right?
Yeah.
Nice day to wrap up an obedience experiment.
Yeah.
His body language in this movie is really good too.
In the white t-shirt, here's everyone else's answers before announcing his decision.
Oh, he follows the crowd.
The subject denies the evidence of his own eyes and yields to group influence. It made Ash famous among social scientists.
Why must you focus on its destructive potential? Obedience isn't necessarily an instrument of evil.
It definitely can be.
Yeah.
Why does your experiment give me a dirty feeling?
Because you're not going to like the outcomes.
Yeah.
Not a single person got up and looked in to see if the man screaming was all right. Not a single one.
That's not great.
Yes.
How do you justify the deception?
I like to think of it as illusion, not deception.
That's her takeaway.
Yeah.
You go to see a play, you pay for a ticket, you know you're seeing a play. These people didn't know it wasn't real.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
Blind obedience to malevolent authority. I'd like for you to pretend that this machine is delivering pain.
Yeah.
You were delivering shocks to your subjects, psychological shocks.
This girl sucks.
She's just not getting it.
No.
Friends of the Communist Party, friends of the Nazi Party. The innocuous content of the letters proposing an upcoming meeting.
I would throw it away.
You'd throw it away?
If I got an invite from a Nazi party or a Communist party.
If you found one? I don't know. I'd probably throw the Nazi one away.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm like, I don't want any part of that. Like,
right.
To the friends of the Communists, and the same number, 25, to the Nazis.
I'd probably not send a letter to the Nazis.
No.
Takedo Murata, another student, drives to Charlotte and Raleigh, North Carolina to lose a new batch of letters.
White neighborhoods?
They land in trees, ponds, on rooftops. Not all my ideas are brilliant. President Kennedy's been shot. He was shot in a motorcade in Dallas.
It's Milgram. It's just another one of his
Oh.
Kelly, you've got that radio, yeah? Turn it on.
He's rigged a fake broadcast like Orson Welles.
Oh my God.
Like, that is fair for them not to believe him. Maybe.
Sure. I mean, you would take everything the guy said with a grain of salt
For
after
sure.
that. But
As soon as you leave class, you're like, oh.
yeah.
The undertow of ethics.
I wanted to ask a question.
I think it's a valuable experiment.
100%.
You force people to torture other people?
No.
To see if they were...
No.
That's the point, yeah.
All the subjects were sent this questionnaire. Here's some examples.
I think they just don't like what the experiment revealed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's denial.
Said they had learned something of personal importance about themselves and about the conditions that shape human action.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's the takeaway.
Yeah. Yeah, if people are like, we're here about the victims.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know what the point is of it.
Really?
And I can't understand myself going all the way. It left me feeling guilty.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should.
Yeah.
I told my husband. I know I wasn't supposed to, but I don't do everything I'm told. Maybe one should do this kind of experiment if you have to deceive.
But
Yeah.
What's the alternative then? You know what I mean?
There's no other way to
do
this experiment.
Yeah.
Hey, I hated hearing about Jim McDonough, dead at 49.
Oh.
Well, that sucks.
A heart attack.
Oh, he did have a heart condition.
Yeah.
Why are you bringing this up now? It's relevant. The man was just turned down for tenure.
Ooh, that sucks.
You look under a rock, ugly things crawl out, and we have to face them.
Sure.
That's the problem, is he looked under the rock.
Yeah.
You have to get back to the obedience experiments.
I do. I have to.
Yes, Stanley. You have no choice.
I'm curious to see what it does look like overseas, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, this being so close to World War II, 20 years later.
Yeah.
It's quite
Head of the
big.
Department of Social Psychology.
City of New York.
And he gets to live in New York.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Even, or especially when nothing decisive is happening, time refuses to stand still.
Looks like Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, he does.
Obedience to Authority, an experimental view, just published by Harper and Row.
I kind of want to read that.
Yeah, I mean, really.
There is no permanent tissue damage.
That's your opinion. If he doesn't want to continue, I'm taking orders from him.
Yeah.
Thank you. God.
When he did this.
But obedience, compliance, was more common.
So 2 out of 3.
You tell you.
I thought it was a lot higher the way they were setting it up.
Because we've recruited them to stir up, the number of people who actually stop and look increases exponentially.
I mean, to be fair, I would probably look too.
I would too. Like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Just keep doing what he tells you to do.
I don't get along with all my students.
Sure.
You ever feel invincible one moment and then worthless the next?
Oh, he set him up there, yeah.
How did I get to be so old? What is that Kierkegaard quote?
What has he been in?
Oh, okay.
Depends. Just wants to take your picture. Everybody's doing it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Life can only be understood backwards, but has to be lived forwards.
Mind blown by the delivery guy.
Or if some emergency jolted them out of this routine, they might start to speak, to actually know one another.
So there's Abe Lincoln now.
Using it as a springboard for my own characters and situational inventions.
Gene Roddenberry here.
I was just gonna get some ice cream.
Oh, so he's doing it.
Okay.
I'm a dramatist. I was explicit, not a scientist. Your work is a springboard for revealing basic human truth.
They probably can use it for fiction, you know what I mean? Just base it on the ideas without it being copyright infringement.
Inspired by,
Yeah.
Pull these switches, bang, bang. They have an inner struggle not to obey.
Oh, this is the show.
Yeah.
And is the evidence to that.
Stephen, what you're doing is very important. And I love the...
Is that
Dennis Haysbert?
It is.
Yeah.
There are times when your life resembles a bad movie, but nothing prepares you if your life actually becomes a bad movie.
Yeah.
Turner Milgram of Rutledge University, a bachelor and a wasp, being played by William Shatner.
Did that really happen?
Did you know I did the first interracial kiss in U.S. TV history?
Sure
It's
did.
true.
They insisted we shoot an alternative version.
Yep.
But during the close-up, I did this.
Yeah, he did.
Did you happen to use any black folks? And the results?
Same as everyone else.
They tell me to get into the car and they take me to the precinct station. Then one of them takes a jar of cane syrup and pours it over my head.
Oh my God.
The agentic state, in which the demands of the democratically installed authority conflict with conscience.
I gotta read this book.
Yeah, no kidding.
We always asked, is there anything the man could have said to stop you from administering the shocks? And they would always say, no, I don't think so, no.
I wonder if that was real footage.
It looked like it.
Yeah.
You have to know that I choose you. Every day, I choose you.
It's really nice. It's
Yeah.
really sweet.
Where people aren't very good at thinking for themselves.
What's with the elephant in the room? Like he's the elephant in the room?
Right, yeah.
I'm Stanley Milgram. This is my ID. I believe I'm having my 5th heart attack.
Fifth? Oh my gosh.
You need to fill this out.
The agentic personality.
Oh, yeah.
You need to fill this. Yeah.
Just following orders. How about getting back to a doctor now? If he thinks he's having a heart attack.
Yeah. So if I keel over right here, then you'll get me back there?
Seriously, like, are you not... The insurance card can wait. Can we get him back?
Yeah. I'm not even sure if that's still procedure now. I mean, like, if you...
Who knows?
Yeah. Was he gone?
In 2008, a professor at Santa Clara University replicated the obedience experiments and got roughly the same results.
Okay.
In 2010, the experiments were duplicated on a French reality TV show. Participants were egged on by a live studio audience.
That's bleak.
Oh, that is bleak.
Our children live with their children near Boston and Toronto. Sasha never remarried.
So I guess he did die.
Yeah.
My Obedience film is screened for every incoming class at West Point.
Oh, yeah.
Every time a new outrage is unleashed into the world, sanctioned and systematic acts of violence, the obedience experiments re-enter the conversation.
Like right now.
Really?
Perhaps our awareness is the first step in our liberation.
That's good. I've seen that GIF before. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Him waving like that. Yeah, I never knew what it was from.
Huh. Wow. I don't remember where I heard about the experiment.
College, probably?
I think it might have actually been mentioned, like as briefly as it was described in the beginning here, on like one of the episodes of Penn and Teller BS. There might have been a doctor that briefly explained it. Sure. It was on something. I didn't read it in a book. I watched it. Someone describe it, and it really stuck with me for obvious reasons of like, oh my God, that's horrifying to think about. That if somebody could give an excuse of, I'm just doing what I'm told, they'll go a long way in doing horrible things.
Absolutely. And I don't know if I have. I mean, like I've taken psychology classes in college, you know. Right. I think that's why I learned about the Stanford experiment.
Right. Yeah, but Stanford prison experiment.
Which is similar, but like obviously different enough, you know. But I love what this has to say about, like, you know, individualism and kind of like the lack thereof, maybe, or even like how it kind of plays into, well, if I do this, I'll get noticed and I'll get rewarded, or I'll be okay because this person says it's fine. You know what I mean? Fascinating. And, you know, we all sit here and we can be like, I would not do that, but at the same time, it's like we're not in that situation, and we had the perspective of knowing that this is what this is. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
the fear of consequences.
2/3 did just went along with it, and 1/3 didn't, which I think that's a, you know. The way it was set up early in the film, it made it sound like just about everybody went along with it.
Yeah.
Which obviously wasn't the case. A majority went along with it, which is just as disturbing.
Sure.
But I think that does give you a little bit of hope that, okay, maybe some people are more like socially conditioned to follow authority regardless of what it says, versus taking a stand on what they believe in.
Yeah.
And I think you can fairly say, would I be that person or not?
Sure.
Maybe. I mean, I'm sure everybody thinks like I think for myself. I mean, I've seen some dumb people parroting some dumb things that say, I'm not a sheep. And it's like, well, I got some bad news for you, because you're saying a line that we've all been hearing lately. You know what I mean? Over and over again.
It's
I mean, yeah, it really is. I do think that there's a large component of people who are pretty easily manipulated like this.
Yeah. Even in 2025, man. I mean, it's a tale as old as time.
How many people are experts on how awesome tariffs are now that never heard the word a year ago?
I just saw a video. That's funny you said that, about a guy on the street. I think he was in New York, and he was asking people, what is a tariff? You know, and he just going around
something good. That's all I know.
No, yeah. And it's like, I think we need more people like that to kind of push people's beliefs. You know what I mean? Question them, at least. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, we live in a world of echo chambers now, so I think it's probably a little bit worse than it might have been in the 60s.
Of course.
But then again, I don't know. I feel like post-World War II, and again, I'm not excusing anything. They said themselves it's repeatable. I don't know if it'd be better or worse. I know conformity was really the you know, post World War II, conformity was everything.
Sure.
Right. This is like 61 is like pre-counterculture. Really, it's coming.
Yeah.
But we're not quite there yet. The Vietnam War hasn't quite started yet. Watergate hasn't started yet. The sexual revolution hasn't started yet. So maybe 10 years later, this would have been an experiment where the numbers weren't quite that big. I do need to read this book.
Yeah.
But then again,
they touch upon it a little bit in the 70s in this movie, when he's like, yeah, I don't want you to think this is like, you know, I don't have to conform to this.
Right.
When he was bringing up the whole bus situation. But that is a great point too. It was a different era, but things have kind of evolved a little bit now, you know, like you said,
there are things that are better and things that are worse.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the numbers would break down now if it was done today. They said someone did it in 2010
on a TV show.
I'm probably going to Google that at some point and see how that all went. I think when you have the peer pressure of a studio audience yelling at you, I think that's a whole different kind of authority. than just having a guy in a lab coat sitting behind you telling you to do it.
For sure.
I don't know. I think in our day and age, that's probably more influential and worse somehow, but who knows?
It's weird, right? Because like you do have these, it kind of splits people. Like there's people that can obviously see this and be like, oh, this is wrong, and there's people that are like, no, do it, it's funny, it's super messed up. And I think with social media and everybody's like ability to share their own opinion, it kind of does make it a big cluster F, you know what I mean, where it's like, oh man, you know what I mean, like there's just like it's all just a flood of opinion.
Yeah, I mean it's all narcissistic. Everyone, the democratization of information means everybody thinks every whim they have is something the whole world needs and wants to know about.
Sure.
Which is absolutely not true. But again, it's a pretty fascinating experiment that I do want to read more on.
And one thing that I liked in this movie too, besides the production of it, this was a great independent film.
It was.
They used the most
clearly
with their
very low budget, but they did great with it.
One line it could have been a throwaway line, but like the scene where he's outside with Abe Lincoln and that lady where she's like, I've read several reviews.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you haven't read all of them and you haven't read the book. It's like,
it's not the same. I remember, this is mildly off topic, but it goes along with that. There was a big controversy when the American Sniper movie came out about the guy. I can't remember his name.
Chris Kyle.
Okay, yeah, that the book was about, right? Was he a hero or was he sadistic? Was he a killer?
Sure.
Was he someone who enjoyed hurting other people, or was he a good soldier, patriot, whatever? I didn't know the guy at the time, so I read his book.
I read the book too,
and watched his movie. All right, I read the book and watched the movie probably in the same week of each other.
How they're different.
First off, they're not remotely close to the same. Eastwood have changed everything.
A lot.
Which is completely fine. It's a movie. Movies can change from books.
We saw that in this.
But the number of people who had opinions, and I would say to him, like, have you read the book?
Yeah.
Because you're forming your opinion of this person exclusively on the movie that Eastwood made, which is not the same thing that the guy said about himself. Have you read the book? Well, no. Well, then you can't argue with me about what the book says.
Yeah.
You can't argue with me about what the guy was if you don't know what the guy was beyond the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. I agree with you.
That is not the same. And again, just reading his book doesn't mean I know everything either, right?
Yeah.
But I certainly know more than the guy saying I've never done anything except seen the movie and I know more than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And I was the same situation here. Like, I read the book when the movie was in theaters, didn't see it in theaters, and I was like, oh, I wonder how they're going to tackle this more, mature subject matter.
Right.
And they just
completely changed it. Right.
It's closer to that. The movie itself is closer to the little short film they made in *Inglourious Bastards*.
Yeah.
*Nation's Pride*. That's kind of what that is.
No, it completely is. The stuff the guy said that was way out there, and the stuff that he told that was clearly not true, that he made up, was just left out of the movie. So those fair questions people had who've read the book of like, what is this guy, was completely whitewashed in the movie. So people are seeing the movie and being like, well, you're all morons for saying that because I saw the movie.
He's
and like
a savior.
the guy said that he was on top of. Remember this? He was on top of during Katrina. He was on top of the Superdome. Shooting. The government had him up on top of the Superdome shooting looters with a sniper rifle, saving everybody. I'm like, that
there's
didn't
some pretty
happen.
wild claims in that book.
He said that he was at a gas station full up his truck and he whipped out his gun and shot down several carjackers.
He said
and like in Texas, like all the cops like. None of this has ever happened.
He said he punched Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
And Jesse Ventura had to go on TV and be like, this never happened.
Yeah. And again, I'm not trying to pile on the guy
or
the book or the movie, but
the guy's dead in real life. So
the reality of like what you hear about something versus actually being knowing a little bit about something, there is a gap, right?
There's a huge gap.
I try not to like, well, I heard this, so therefore I know something. Well, I like to, know a little bit better than that.
Fact is fact, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. I want to read this book.
Yeah.
Maybe I will, and there's a real possibility you read and you're like, okay, maybe getting down to the details of it. Maybe some of it's questionable, but
that's the thing, is the importance of your own autonomy to form your own opinion on something. If it's out there, you don't have to agree with it. You can form your own opinion, but fact is fact.
Right. I agree.
It's but I thought this movie was very thought-provoking. I'm going to be thinking about it for a while. You, gonna read that book.
I gotta get the book. All right, appreciate it, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.
See ya.